This journey of God's people continues through time. And so synodality is trying to figure out how to walk better together with one another, with God, as brothers and sisters on the same path. So my name is Julian Paparella. I'm Canadian from London, Ontario, and I'm here in Rome studying theology at the John Paul II Institute for Marriage and Family, and also working a bit with synodality and trying to help the church in this new springtime that we're undergoing at this present time. Yeah, to me, I think as a young married man, I don't yet have children, we don't yet have children, but hopefully we will, God willing. And I really see synodality as a key for the kind of church that I want my children to be a part of. Synodality is a key for helping the church to continue doing its mission fruitfully for future generations, but already starting now here in our generation. A beautiful image of synodality is the parable that Jesus gives us of the Good Samaritan. There's a priest and a Levite who just walk by. They wash their hands. But the Good Samaritan refuses to keep walking. He sees that the man is there. He's attentive to him, he cares, and he insists on walking forward, not without that man, but with that man. How can we, as a church, be the church of the Good Samaritan, of Jesus, the true Good Samaritan, refusing to go it alone and insisting on meeting our brothers and sisters where they're at to be able to walk forward together? The church exists for the sake of the kingdom of God. So it's not a democracy in the sense that it's not the people that rule. That includes everybody. It's also not the bishops who rule, the priests who rule. It's God who rules. So synodality is trying to open us up to be attentive to what God is trying to tell us. It's listening to each other, not for the sake of a democratic vote, but for the sake of discerning together, how does God call us here and now? It's not simply some majority against the minority or vice versa. It's together, we need everybody involved in order to listen to what God asks of us and then to live that out concretely in today's world. When you're trying to serve people, it's not that you have all the answers and then it's just about making programs that'll fit what you think is good for people. Rather, it requires openness on our part, actually listening to where are people at, meeting them where they're at. Like Jesus with the disciples on the road to Emaús. He didn't just stay far away off in the field saying, "You-hoo guys, I'm over here, come to me." He went to those two disciples who were disappointed, disillusioned. He asked them questions. He opened his heart to them instead of just filling their ears. And this established a relationship, a dialogue, walking with them, journeying with them the time that it took to open them up to encounter him, and all along the way, making something burn in their hearts, touching something deep within them. For me, the Synod on Youth was that kind of experience, walking together, Jesus accompanying us accompanying one another, with something burning in the depths of our hearts. But that's coming alive by what we share with each other, and then it's that sends us to community and mission with each other, because those two disciples, when they encounter Jesus, then they run back to Jerusalem to be together with the whole church and to discover what their mission is there in community. For me, my concern with synodality is that we don't take it all the way. In other words, that it become just one thing that we did one time for a few months that was a nice experience, but that we don't actually let it become the defining characteristic of who we are as a church, that we don't let it transform us. That we don't see this as a conversion experience of our ways of doing things, our ways of seeing each other, interacting with each other, and then that has a ripple effect across generations. If we stop short, if we see this just as a one-time experience or as a kind of survey of what people's opinions are, that won't accomplish God's dream for the church in this third millennium, which is being a church that's able to walk forward, and that has to be reflected in all our ways of being, all our ways of working. We have to let ourselves be transformed in order for this process to bear the fruit that God wants.